They were just two children, lost in the woods, a trail of breadcrumbs, a house made of sweets, and an old woman with a deadly secret. We think we know the story of Hansel and Gretel, but the real horror behind this fairy tale is far worse than any bedtime tale, because behind the candy and the cottage lies a tale of starvation, abandonment, cannibalism, and survival at any cost. It's not a story for children. It's a story about what people become when the world turns cruel. And once you understand where this tale really comes from, you'll never hear Once Upon a Time the same way again. This is the real horror behind Hansel and Gretel. Let's begin with a question. What kind of parent leads their children into the forest and leaves them there to die? The story begins with famine. A woodcutter and his wife, sometimes his second wife, sometimes the children's stepmother, are starving. There is not enough food. And so they decide the children must go. Hansel and Gretel are led deep into the woods. They hear the leaves crunch under their feet. They hear the birds overhead. Behind them, nothing. No footsteps, no return. In some versions, the father is reluctant. In others, he says nothing at all. But either way, the children are abandoned, left alone in the wilderness. The message is clear. When hunger strikes, even family becomes expendable. But why was this story told to children? Because it was real. The Grimm brothers first published Hansel and Gretel in 1812. But the roots go deeper. During the Great Famine of 1315 to 1317, starvation swept across Europe. Crops failed, prices soared, parents abandoned children, and in some documented cases, they ate them. Desperate villagers turned to cannibalism, and those who survived told stories. Stories of woods, of witches, of food and fear. Hansel and Gretel is not fantasy, it is a survival manual written in metaphor. Hansel, ever clever, drops pebbles to find the way back home. When the pebbles are gone, he uses breadcrumbs. But the forest doesn't care. The animals eat the trail. The path is lost, and the children walk deeper into the unknown until they find it. A cottage made of cake, a house covered in sugar and sweets. It is too good to be true. Because it is. An old woman emerges, kind, welcoming. She feeds them, she shelters them, and then she locks Hansel in a cage. She fattens him up. She plans to eat him. And Gretel, she becomes the housekeeper, the servant, the prisoner. It's not just horror, it's a cycle. The children were victims. Now they're trapped in someone else's hunger. But who is this witch, and why does she matter? The witch is more than just a villain. She is the forest itself. She is the embodiment of famine, sweet on the outside, deadly beneath. She offers relief and takes everything in return. She lives alone, old, isolated, forgotten. Some versions say she once had children of her own. Now she eats others to survive. She is not evil, she is desperate. Just like the parents. Just like the world outside. And what does she live in? A house made of food. In a world where people are starving, that is not a fantasy. It is a trap, a house that lures the hungry with what they want most and kills them for wanting it. This is not about witches. It is about cycles of consumption. The strong eating the weak, the hungry devouring the innocent, even children. But Hansel outsmarts her. He sticks out a bone instead of his finger. She can't see well. She thinks he's still too thin. Gretel seizes her chance. She pushes the witch into the oven. She burns her alive. And just like that, the horror flips. The prey becomes the predator. Gretel is not rescued. She rescues herself. She saves Hansel. They escape with jewels, treasure, wealth pulled from the ashes of the witch. And when they return home, the stepmother is dead. The father is sorry. They live happily ever after. Or so we're told. But let's ask again, what's the message here? Is it really about cleverness About family? Or is it something darker? Maybe it's this, that the world is cruel, that safety is an illusion, that hunger will turn anyone, even a child, into something else, and that to survive sometimes, you have to burn your demons first. But there's more. Let's talk about the oven. In European folklore, ovens were often metaphors for transformation. They turned raw into cooked, weak into strong, child into adult. Gretel pushing the witch into the oven is not just revenge, it's initiation, it's power reclaimed. The moment she kills the witch, Gretel is no longer a victim, she is reborn. And when she walks away from the cottage, she carries more than treasure. She carries knowledge. She knows what hunger does, what people become, what she herself became. In that moment, Gretel is not just a survivor. She is the final girl, the one who escapes the horror but is never the same. And Hansel? He never truly sees what happened. He was locked away, shielded, fed. But Gretel? She cleaned the floors, she heard the plans, she did the killing, she became the story. So why is this called Hansel and Gretel, when it is Gretel who saves them? Because even in fairy tales, sometimes the girl's story is hidden, buried beneath her brother's name. But the power is hers, the fire is hers, the ending is hers. Some versions of the tale go further. In one ancient version, Gretel does not just push the witch, she becomes the new witch. She stays behind in the cottage, she cooks, she waits for the next children to come, and the cycle begins again, because once you know what hunger does, you do not forget. Even if the famine ends, even if the forest clears, some part of you stays there, waiting, watching. Let us return to the beginning. The trail of breadcrumbs. It is supposed to lead you home, but it never does. Not in this story, because the forest does not want you to leave. It eats your path, erases your footprints, and once you are deep enough, you stop looking for the way out. You find a cottage, you knock on the door, and inside, someone is already waiting. If this story made you see Hansel and Gretel differently, you're not alone. Leave a comment below. Is this tale about clever children or about what desperation really does to us? And if you want more hidden horrors behind childhood tales, make sure to subscribe.